It has been almost 4 years since we left our home in Washington and moved here to North Idaho, and in that time so much has changed. So every spring and every fall we have this massive list of stuff that we need to get done before the harsh season that is coming up. So last week we ran into quite a bit of snow and thought we had run out of time to finish our fall list, but thankfully the snow has melted, so we have a very small little window of opportunity to still get ready for winter.
How do I put these panels on? You remember? Did I climb up here?
No, I don't think that would hold you. I think you did this panel and then you went inside and screwed it.
One at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
You gotta reverse it.
I have to go through the other side. That's what I have to do. All right, start pulling this thing apart. Oh my gosh. So many spiders.
Those are your favorite.
And old spider webs. Come on. Wow. Goes down a lot quicker than it went up.
Louder.
So this shelter that we have tucked away on the back side of our property, it's actually tucked back behind our shop so that nobody could see it, is one of the first things that Melissa and I got built after moving onto this new property. Our sheep needed a place to stay and we really didn't have much to work with at the time, so we cut down some trees, stripped those logs down to use as framing. We then rummaged through a scrap material pile that we had and to get things somewhat enclosed, protect them from the wind, rain, and snow that we have here, and it's worked great. Doesn't look great, but it has worked great. The sheep have been using that extensively, but it's time for it to come down. We're gonna give them an upgrade. After we strip that down, clean that area up, we're gonna get them moved over to the loafing shed that we pulled out of our horse pasture last week. It's gonna be a massive upgrade for them as far as housing goes, and a massive visual upgrade for us. It'd be nice to get things cleaned up back here.
Every time, man. Okay. So as excited as I am to get the rabbits and the sheep in a steel frame structure that's not only going to look nicer, but it's going to serve them better, I am still sad to see this structure looking the way it does, because the last time that we saw it looking like that, just a frame, we were really excited. We knew that our sheep were going to be taken care of for the winter, and it was like our first bushcraft structure, which was kind of fun. But more importantly, we experienced a lot inside that tiny little hut. The kids got to watch their first live birth. I got to pull out several lambs. We have bottle fed for hours with freezing fingers, little bummer lambs. And so it's sad to see it coming down. It's like the end of a chapter.
But it's so ugly.
I like it.
Kench.
Oh, scared him. These are heavier than I remember. There's like 6 inches of crazy compost here.
Yeah, we'll scoop it up, put it in the compost pile.
Yeah. Sheep poop.
Can't leave that behind.
No. That's gold right there.
It's like we got a bushcraft shelter from IKEA, except it's disassembly this time.
Disassembly is just as bad.
It's always a good sign of a good shelter when you can take it apart in like 45 minutes.
Do you remember watching Lucille be born in there? And Bob? Mm-hmm. And Fozzie? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Just like that, the shelter is now down. All we have to do is deal with this mess of hay and sheep raisinets, aka sheep manure, that has been left behind. We're going to scoop this up, pile it up so we can start a new compost pile. And then for all the logs, to get that cleaned up, I think we're going to chop those up. Eli, would you like to have a fire tonight?
Yeah.
That sound good? Why don't you gather everybody up? We'll start cutting that wood. You guys can make a fire, okay?
Okay.
Chaps are on, pants stayed on, even though Melissa insisted that I take them off. We're all chopped up. Let's grab this chainsaw, cut some wood.
if all we know is all there is, that would be enough. Now a hard rain's falling down, and every drop calls out, I am just a part of something else, right where I belong, right where I belong. Right where I belong.
To start off the day, we are going to be moving the loafing shed exactly where we need it to get the rabbits and the sheep set up for winter. So Jeremy's back here moving around all that nasty, moldy mulch hay, and then we can finally get started on our work for today.
Melissa and I have decided that we're going to move this loafing shed about 20 feet forward. I'm going to get loaded up with tractor forks, get underneath this thing and push it to a block that we have set up. This does a couple of things. It just makes things look neater for one. It also blocks all of the mess that we're going to end up with back behind it, our scrap wood pile, our plow, just a bunch of random stuff that we don't want people seeing when they come over.
I am ducking inside really quick to grab my daily pick-me-up, my AG1. As you guys know, I've been using AG1 for over 2 years to keep me feeling my absolute best every single day. So it is officially cold and flu season, which is my least favorite time of the year, and I will take all the immune supporting vitamins that I can get. The best thing about AG1, it is so simple to use. What has kept me using it every single day is that it is a daily ritual that anyone can stick to. 8 ounces of water, 1 scoop or travel pack, shake it up, and you are good to go. The number one question I get asked is, what exactly does AG1 taste like? I describe it as being fruity but not sweet with a touch of fresh grass. So I absolutely love it, and it has also replaced all of those expensive vitamins that I was buying and forgetting to take. AG1 is literally the perfect all-in-one green powder packed with 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens in one simple daily serving. So originally I started taking AG1 because I was looking for something that supports my gut health and a healthy digestion, because a healthy digestion means you feel better. It also supports your immune system, your energy, your focus, your recovery, and even aging. 40 now. So if you've been on the fence about trying AG1, now is the perfect time of year. Just click the link down in our description below. You are going to get 5 free travel packs plus a year of the vitamin D3K2 with your first purchase. That is 5 of these travel packs, which I love for when we're on the go, and a whole year of the vitamin D for free with your first purchase.
Now that we have our loafing shed in its final resting place, we need to get this old rabbit hutch moved in there. It's just going to be an added layer of protection for them. It is heavy, so to get that done, we've enlisted the help of young Kaimani since he has the muscles, and hey, the rabbit queen, the old rabbit queen. Some of you may remember. How's that, good? Happy with that?
Yeah, I think it looks like it was made for this space. It's the perfect width.
You know what's gonna be nice is that now there won't be rain and snow getting on their poop. We can just scoop it up and be a lot drier.
That's true.
Won't smell so bad.
It will still smell.
The rabbits are now tucked away out of the wind, nice and cozy and warm. I think on this side of the loafing shed, we are usually going to just be leaving that gate open so that the sheep can come and go as they please. They are pretty much free range on our property, even though we have predator issues around here. Hasn't been an issue as of yet. They like to roam around and graze while they still can before all the snow falls. So that is going to be the plan for that side of the loafing shed. What we are now dealing with and having to rectify is this massive mess that we have everywhere. There is old hay that is rotting down. We have animal manure. It is gross. It is stinky. But I have the solution. We're going to scoop all of this up. We're going to make a huge, massive pile, let things break down over the winter and early spring. It'll be our new compost pile. We will sift through that next spring, get everything dumped in the orchard, and yeah, it'll all work out very nicely.
So it is true. I am the rabbit queen. I was crowned rabbit queen by one of you guys probably 6 years ago when we first started YouTube. So I didn't really understand what YouTube was. To me, it was just a collection of how-tos and DIY videos. And I was selling vegetables and eggs and rabbits and chickens out of our yard to local customers. And so I created these videos just to help people connect with their food and also show people that you can raise a lot of food in a small space, no matter where you are. That was kind of our goal in the very beginning. So we did this entire rabbit series on how to breed them and wean them and process them and tan their hides and everything that you could ever want to know about raising rabbits yourselves. And then people started calling me the Rabbit Queen, and we became the Rabbit Channel. So it's really funny to watch that evolve over time, because it ended up turning into Jeremy quitting his job, us selling everything, moving to raw land, not having a toilet for 2.5 years.
So stupid and random.
Building our own home, getting horses, sheep, all of the things that we've always really wanted to do, and then having a way of sharing that with other people. So it's just crazy to think that it all started with rabbits.
All started with rabbits. Long live the queen.
I'm gonna run close behind you. I'm gonna shout out the top of my lungs. If you should ever doubt the weather, oh, just know that we're the fortunate ones. And today we're the lucky ones, mate. No mistake that I got you, and we're moving up, and I'm awakened by the sounds of the beating drums, and we're the lucky ones now.
So yes, it's stinky and slimy and gross, and we really don't like dealing with it in its raw form, but having this much poop in your life is actually a huge blessing. So we have the rabbits, the sheep, the chickens, and we have the horses. Plus, we always have a few bales of hay that inevitably get really moldy. So when we mix all that together and we let it age and compost down, it is a tremendous amount of garden compost that we can use every spring. When we moved here, we left behind 7 years of layering amazing soil. So it was really hard to leave our garden beds back in Washington. I think that was one of the hardest things because we'd worked so hard on our soil. So now we are in year 3 of layering garden soil, and every single year it's going to get better and better and better. So all of this is going to go a really long ways towards a really nice garden in 2024. Oh God, this smells terrible, terrible. So rabbit manure is the best. I would say it's the best thing that you can put on your garden because it's not a hot compost. Basically meaning it's not going to burn your plants. It slow releases nitrogen. However, it is by far the stinkiest compost when it gets wet. I think it's just the urine and the rain and everything, but over every other animal that I've ever smelled, rabbit smells like a porta potty on a July day.
Destroyed that area.
Yeah, it's just mud now.
Gross. It smells horrible.
Yeah.
Awful. Let's put some hay down.
I completely agree with Jeremy. This smells terrible, and we definitely need lots of hay because the kids come back here and take care of the animals. Eli comes back here and takes care of the animals because he's taken over everyone's chores.
And this is the tiny home back here, so when we
Yeah.
have guests and they stay in there, they can't be smelling this. We podcast in here. Undoable.
Yeah.
Fresh hay.
Plus, it's going to be like 6 inches of mud in the springtime. All right, it's clean. It looks fantastic. It took 2 days, but it's a huge relief because I feel like now we are ready for winter. The animals are going to be comfortable and protected from the weather. The horses have their stalls, the sheep have their loafing shed, the rabbits have their loafing shed, and it can snow now. Now it's okay. We are going to call it a day because it's the end of our pediatric cancer toy drive. We have 48 hours to get everything unboxed, organized, loaded into the magic trailer, and driven over to Spokane to be dropped off for the families for Christmas. So the only issue we have is that the magic trailer has a bum wheel, and we just discovered that. So Jeremy needs to bring the trailer into town, get the wheel switched out, and then we can finally get everything loaded up. The kids and I are going to do our best to get everything organized, ready to be loaded, and then we will drop it off. Shortly thereafter, Jeremy has a lot of miles to cover.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You guys are so awesome. Again, blew it out of the water. The support that you bring to these families and these children is so incredibly amazing. Jeremy's going to need some new walking shoes. You got it.
We have a plan. We might recruit some assistance because this is too great of a distance for me to do on my own.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to be able to do it in a day.
Well, we're grateful. Thank you, guys.
It's funny how undoing something can make one reflect, whether it's a decision or a relationship or a sheep shelter. It brings us back to who we were when we built it up, and it causes us to think about why. When we built that structure, our lives were unclear. We were in this constant state of free fall, and we had no idea what lay below, yet we were still happy. A lot has happened over the past 4 years, most of which we could have never imagined. But I realized while looking back on these old, grainy early videos that it would have been okay if my life didn't change at all. Because back then, we were happy. I guess I always knew there was something more. But if there wasn't, what I had was enough. And I realized that the one constant in all of it wasn't a place or a time. It was them. As Walt Whitman so famously wrote, we were together. I forget the rest.
So fishy.
Is it right?
It's fishy.
It's squishy? How's that?
How are you going to eat that with no teeth?